you're not taking advantage of loading docks. And the reality is that when I was back in DC, what I found out was that um, the consumers are way ahead of the realtors. The consumers, especially those who are 45 years and younger, they want mobile technologies. And so if you guys are not engaging in using mobile technology in your business practice, you're going to miss out on a lot of business. I'm telling you right now, because there's an expectation that things will be fast. And what consumers want access to their own information. And so we've designed a system, and we were paying for a system, which costs us a lot of money, and you're not using it. And that system is called Loading Docks. The other one is that about 4 years ago, we invested in a product that's called Closing Tracker. That's an online escrow that we have. We have DocuSign for those of you who use the transaction coordinator. The DocuSign, all your documents can be electronically sent, and it can be point and click and sign and sent back to the transaction coordinator and back to you. The transaction coordinator, one of their duties is to upload all your documents as quickly as they come in. Upload them so that you'll have a dynamic view of what's going on with your own file. You'll be able to view them yourself. Some of you create your own files, paper files. Some of you create your own files electronically. What I'm saying is that the loading dock system will allow you to access our system without you creating your own file. Now, I know it's hard to get away from doing your own thing, but you still have the ability to do that. In case you did not look at your own file, you can go online with the password and access loading docks, and you can see the file yourself. Moreover, you can allow your clients with the password to see their documents. And this is the game changer here, allowing your clients to see their documents in real time. And so when you have young people, technology-based people, and most people who are in their 40s and younger, they're comfortable with technology. They grew up with, technology. If you tell them, look, go online, take a look at the files, you can see the closing documents. Even before that, you can see the termite report, termite completion, request for repairs, any form that's generated in a transaction, they will have access to seeing. What this is going to do is this is going to reduce the number of telephone calls that they're making to you. And so it's going to give you more freedom to do more business because you're not going to be chasing. How many times have you called someone and you can't find them, or it goes to their voicemail, they call you, you're with the client, you can't pick up. And so people get frustrated sometimes when they cannot reach you quickly. So if you say, look, I'm going to give you access, go on, take a look, you can see everything that's going on. This is going to be a powerful thing. And not only will it be powerful for you, but it's also going to be a marketing tool that your clients will be using for you. They'll be telling their friends, hey, I'm able to go online and see all my documents. My agent's on their game, right? So that's what I want you to know, okay? Take advantage of it because we're not charging you extra for it. It's something that we're paying for. Yes, William?
I always use these things when I know how to use them.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we went back to Relay.
No.
And loading docks, I don't remember getting training on unless it is the same thing as the loan wolf.
It's a part of a loan wolf product, but loading docks is specific to transaction management.
So I think we need a training on loading.
Can you write that down?
In our next meeting, so because I just feel lost. I try to stay up on this.
All right, that's appropriate, and we'll get you the training for loading docks. We'll also get you the training for closing tracker. Closing tracker
I've used.
Right. Closing tracker is a powerful tool. I've had clients who live in Dallas, Texas, and the property's over here in Simi Valley, and they didn't want to drive back and forth and do all this stuff. I was able to communicate with them fully. The only thing that required live, signature was a grant deed. And by the way, while I was at NAR, there's a company that I discovered that does mobile notaries electronically. And so
really?
So we're trying to figure out how to get that done with the county recorder in LA County to make sure that they're okay with it. But there's already this technology where they can do a mobile notary electronically instead of you chasing somebody down to do it. So back to where it is now. Right now, Closing Tracker will allow you to do all of it except for the grant deed. And what I've done in the grant deed is I've just asked the escrow company, our escrow company, I said, look, send out the document via the internet to the client. Mail them or give them the order number for a prepaid overnight delivery. They'll go to the county that they're located in, meet a notary there, get it wet signed with the notary signature, and then we'll pay for the delivery back to our escrow. So that simplifies things. I've done this where I had a client in Australia that we were able to get it notarized at the American Embassy in Sydney, and then we overnighted it. It took 2 days from Australia. It takes a little bit longer to come back here, and we were able to close the escrow on time. Okay. All right. So back to the fiber optics. These are some of the things that I've shared already. Closing Tracker, 24/7 access. So this is really powerful, guys. You don't have to wait around. This is available all the time. I want you to go, and once you get trained out, I want you to play around with it and look at it yourself. Then you'll get a comfort zone for your client to look at it. And if the transaction coordinator, one of the challenges we have with Relay is that agents did not want to upload all those documents until the end. So what we're saying is that use our transaction coordinator. They're paid to upload it on a daily basis. As soon as the documents get in, they are to be uploading them into the loading dock system. So you don't have to tell your client, the documents are not in, because they'll be in. Okay? All right.
So, you could even load even the offers which are not accepted.
Yes.
But then if it is not accepted, then that file goes.
It'll be put on the side, but it'll still be there. We have to keep track of all documents, whether it's accepted or rejected or canceled. We have to keep track of all of it. Mm-hmm. Thank you for that question. All right, so escrow closing, we've talked about this again. I don't want to restate it over and over, but you can actually open escrow online. So let's say Robert tells his bride that honey, let's go to, I don't know, I want to go visit my parents in El Salvador, okay? Or my relatives, right? So they're sitting on the beach in El Salvador. They go to the cabana, right? And guess what? You can look at your escrow files right there. It's a pretty powerful tool, okay? You got your mobile device. You can access it all there, your mobile phone. All right? Electronic signing, I think this is a powerful tool. Use our transaction coordinator. We can use it for your listings, for your sales, for your escrows, okay? So maybe you have a listing and the client, I have listings where one client lives in this part of town, another client is in Chicago, and they're not together at the same time. I have clients where one client they're getting a divorce, this one's over here, this one's over there. When you do it electronically with DocuSign, it's a powerful tool. You don't have to worry about getting people together who don't like each other anymore. Okay? All right. Any questions? All right. So another thing that we're implementing, professional service fee. Our professional service fee is a fee that we're charging the buyer and also the seller. But here's what we're doing to make it a little bit more acceptable to you. What we're doing is we're offering you a credit back of $100. The fee is $399, okay? $399. But at close of escrow, your buyer pays it or your seller pays it, and $100 gets credited back to you, okay? So there's an incentive for you to make sure your buyer and your seller does it. You can take that $100 and go to Starbucks and give it back to your client. You can use it for your marketing dollars. Maybe that's a way for you to incentivize yourself to do for marketing. Direct mail, everyday direct, or, just listed, just sold. Okay? So this is something that we're implementing effective on June 1. Okay? All right, shared assistant. This is something that we're going to be doing in the future. We haven't got it all worked out yet. Some of you have said, look, I need an assistant. I can't afford to pay for a full-time assistant. So what the company's going to do is we're going to hire a person to be an assistant. And you're going to say, you know what, I need help on my database. Can you have, can I get 3 hours of the personal assistant? And we haven't figured out what the rate will be per hour. And you'll pay us and we'll pay them. You don't have to deal with the payroll or the headaches, dealing with employees. You'll just being able to use their services for mailings, for, bulk rate, everyday direct, marketing, flyers, database management, all these different things that really holds us back from being more effective in our business because we may not have the skill set to do all those things, nor maybe we have the time. Maybe we want to use our time for prospecting and not for these things that we need to do. Does that make sense? How do you guys feel about that?
Yes.
Good, that's good, that's
Okay.
good.
Okay, very good.
Will there be any minimum number of hours in a week that we should use?
Would there be a minimum?
Minimum number of hours we should.
No, we'll charge you a hour minimum time. Right, it's not won't be 15 minutes. It'll be a minimum hour time. So you say whatever the hourly rate is, we'll tell you in advance what it is, and you just pay us, and we take care. We pay the employee. They're not your employee. They're our employee, but you have access to them. And I'll tell you, it'll make you so much more productive. You'll be able.
Pay through the commission, through the doctor through the commission, so we have.
We haven't figured it out yet. We haven't figured it out.
It could be as low as 5 hours a week or something like that.
It could be 1 hour. It could be 0 hours. Whatever you choose. Yeah. You don't have to if you don't want to. Right? So it's up whatever you guys choose. Okay. But I think it'll make you much more productive. I know it's the game changer for me in my business. Having somebody to help me really made a big difference in growing my business. All right. So that's future. The future also is lead generation. We're working on a system. I have a number of different companies I've been talking to that will help us identify the highest value prospect for a listing, the highest value prospect for a buyer, the highest value prospect for a rental. And so what we're going to do is we're beta testing it now. We're trying to figure out which of these companies are we going to really use to do this. And once we're able to do it, we'll come back to you and say, look, all right, we'll give you X number of leads a week, or X number of leads, whatever, and here's how we're going to help you grow your business. One, if it's a listing, we need to make sure we get the escrow back, right? If it's a buyer, we need you to ask for the escrow when you're presenting the offer. There'll be some conditions on it, but it's going to be a way for you to get additional business that you're not getting now, and you won't have to work so hard to get it, okay? So those are some of the things we are working on to help grow your business. All right, so here's something that we need to do to grow the company. And that is we need to get more people working here. I'll share with you that there's a lot of good things happening around us right now. I am in negotiation with a company owner that owns space on Reseda Boulevard just south of Nordhoff. I'm trying to get them to agree to at least term with me. And if they're able to do that, it's a 2,000 square foot facility that we're going to use to have private offices there. Right? For those of you who want to have a cubicle or some kind of a other setup, we're trying to do that. And the goal is to have more experienced agents working out of that office. And it'll be easy to get to. The parking will be good. And I think this is going to help us grow our company too. Some of you already have been operating like a business. You've been a business owner. You've been a business owner. All of you are actually business owners. You may not behave like it all the time, but you're actually business owners. And we're trying to figure out how can we help you grow your business. And as your business grows, we grow. And a couple of things that are happening right around us now. Keller Williams Northridge, as you know, they've been some of our fiercest competitors when it comes to trying to recruit people that you work with. They've been successful in recruiting a couple of people from our office, and some of it's come to bite us, right? And I won't get into personal details of it, but overall, their office in Northridge, their building is being purchased by Cal State University at Northridge. And they're going to have to move out of that building. They're doing over there right across from Kingburger, right next to Rodeo Realty. A&W Chinese food, right next to Rodeo. Right? So they have to move. I've known that they've had to move for a number of months, but the reality is that now they're telling their agents they have to move. And they've determined where they're going to move to. The location they're going to move to, a number of their agents don't like that location. So there's an opportunity for you to help us grow by you telling those agents that are in that office, hey, we're growing over here. Here are the things that we have. There's a term that Mark used, and I love it. It's what is the value proposition? I think it's what you call it. Isn't that right, Mark?
Yeah.
So what is the unique selling proposition that we have? Well, we have a lot of good things going on here now that I think will help attract agents to come work with us. The space alone. I don't know if you've been to the parking spaces that they have at that Keller Williams and Rodeo. It's terrible.
They're good.
It's terrible,
Yeah.
right? You can get your car smacked, right?
Even before it was Keller Williams,
Right.
it was like that.
It's not good. The location that they're moving to, there's a building, the address I believe is 8619 Reseda Boulevard. It's south of Parthenia, just as you go underneath the railroad tracks. And on the right-hand side, there is a small shop or something like that,
Across.
right? Pardon? On the right.
Across from that.
It's right next to that. Next, there's a hand car wash there,
Right.
right? And then there's a bicycle shop there.
Mhm.
There's a three-story building there. It's kind of a gray, blue-looking three-story building. That's where they're moving to. And they have underground parking. And if you drive around the back, it looks kind of cruddy. It's not the better part of Northridge. It's kind of scary. And some of their agents are concerned that if they have clients there, especially female clients at night, that they may be at risk. And so I think that we have a much better story to tell. We have a beautiful office building. We have lots of parking. I've been here at 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm not afraid. Why? The lights are really well. And we have a security guard that patrols this place. I don't know if you guys.
Yeah, I park, once in a while, I park my car overnight.
What did you say, Keith?
Yeah, you're right, yeah, there's definitely a patrol that always.
There is patrol and they pay attention.
Yeah, they do.
They pay attention to what's going on around. So not only do we have a beautiful, aesthetically pleasing building, we have wonderful open parking, right? There's no valet thing required here, right? It's free. A lot of companies charge you for parking, I'm telling you. I used to be on Topanga Canyon Boulevard. They charge. On Ventura Boulevard, almost all of them charge for parking. We don't have that here, right? So there's no monthly fee for any of that stuff. I think that we are primed to get some good agents to come work with us, and especially as we're growing for this additional space for those agents who want private offices. We're prepared to build out offices for people who are producing agents. We're prepared to give them a nice setting for their location, okay? So these are the things that I'm asking you guys to help me with. If you help me with this, what I'll do is I will help you by giving you credits, marketing dollar credits. Every time you bring a good agent to me and that agent is producing, I'll give you anywhere from $500 to $1,000 marketing credit, or you might just say, just send me a check, for you bringing that good agent at the close of that agent's escrow. I can't afford to do it until they start producing, because you know what happens. People come over, they don't produce. I can't afford to do that. But once they close the escrow, I can pay you back, or I can credit you back for helping us grow the company. So I want you guys to really become an ambassador for us. I think we have a great location. I think we have a family-oriented, friendly kind of an atmosphere where people share. Around here, in a lot of companies, agents are always like hiding everything. They don't want to share anything about what they do and how they do it. It's not like that here. William, this young lady has learned so much from you. And it's been good. She's learned a lot of good stuff from you. I learned from this lady over here. I learned from Mark. I've learned from Virgil over here. Virgil's told me what I need to do. Lucky, I'm looking forward to working with you and learning from you. We share. It's not like we're hoarders and we're holding on to stuff. So I want you guys to be aware that we are a good place for people to be. And I think we're going to grow. And the more people we have here, the better it's going to get. The more profitable our company becomes, and the more services we can give back to you. Okay? All right. So the other thing we're doing in the future is private offices, as I shared with you. It's probably going to be in our other location. We're running out of space here unless our escrow company moves to a different location. We don't have much space here. And that's something we're working on too. Team building. I believe that the people who have teams, they have people working on their team. Like Anna has a team. She has 3 people on her team, right? You, Simi, and is it Manny? Yeah, you have 3 people. And your daughter. Okay, so she got 4 people on it. People who have teams, they're able to produce more. You have a team. Mark has a team. William, you don't yet, but I'm prepared to show you how to put together a template for a team, how you can get other people working with you, how you can have an arrangement with them that makes financial sense for you, it makes financial sense for them, and we can show you how to grow your team, how to get your DBA for your team name and all that, how you can protect your team image, and how we'll help you grow your brand. I believe it's important for you to grow your own brand. We're a brand, but you should be a brand within our brand. For example, Coca-Cola, it's a brand. But there are a lot of sub drinks that within Coke. I think what do they have? Is it Gatorade, Seven Up? They have a lot. So it's not like you're taking away from Coke. You're not taking away from Mel Wilson and Associates by building your own brand. I am not insecure that I don't want to see you grow. I want to see you all grow within yourself, and I'm willing to help you. Okay. The other thing is mentorships. Some of you are experienced agents. I am hiring people from the local university and other brand new people who want to come into the business. You may decide that you want to have another person on your team that you're mentoring. Mark has been mentoring Greg, right? And that's something I talked to Mark about Greg a while ago. Mark, you've grown so much over the years. I mean, I remember when Mark and I was in the back, we had the whole ground floor. Mark was in one office, a couple of doors from me, and I was in the corner office. And Mark been working until 10, 11 o'clock at night. How'd I know? Because I was there, right? And then I'd leave at 9, and Mark's still there. And I said, Mark, you got to grow yourself. You have to leverage yourself, Mark. And then Mark took me up on it. He hired a young lady, came in. She started making him more efficient. She decided to get married, move on. He hired another one. And it's just constant, right? It's just constant. But, Mark, you've really grown. Your business is at a whole nother level, and you still have a lot of room to grow. So what I want to do is get young people, have them learn the real estate business the right way. They know technology. This young lady here is so smart. She's helped me so much with her technology skills, with her social media skills, with her internet skills, with her research skills. And there are a lot of people that I have at Cal State Northridge that I've interviewed who we're going to bring over here to work with us, and I want them to work with you guys. And if you have to tell me, you're willing to do it, and there will be parameters. They're not going to be your slave running around doing all. You're picking up your laundry and all your lunch and making your coffee, not that kind of stuff, because they're actually getting credits for it, college credits for doing this work. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to move on totally for something that's really critical. And I got about 10 minutes to share with you. Do you all know that something's going to happen on August 1? August 1 of this year. This is huge. You've all heard of RESPA. RESPA, the Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act. All right, that's RESPA. It's been around for a long time. Well, a couple of years ago, there was something that's called Dodd-Frank. The Dodd-Frank bill was a financial service bill that came out of the House of Representatives, and it came out of the Senate. Dodd was a guy named Christopher Dodd, who was a U.S. Senator. I think he was from Delaware. And Barney Frank, House of Representatives, Chairman of the Financial Service Committee from Boston, Massachusetts. They came up with a landmark legislation that the whole House of Representatives and the Senate approved, and the President signed off on it. And it was to bring reforms back to the financial service market, because a lot of people got ripped off and they lost billions and billions of dollars, and they lost their homes as a result of some of these things that were going on with not having full disclosure with these liar loans and stated income loans and all those different things. So out of that came this thing that's called RESPA. RESPA was already a part of it, but RESPA impacts any property that's 1 to 4 units residential. Okay? 1 to 4 unit residential, RESPA is involved with it, right? There's an agency that's called the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB. This agency is the one that is overseeing RESPA. And out of RESPA, there's something that's coming down that's going to go into effect on August 2013. August 2015. On November 20th, 2013, this new regulation was put into place. They began notifying people, realtors, and practitioners, but no one's been paying attention. Well, guess what's going to happen? Effective August 1, 2015, you're going to pay attention, because your escrows may not close if you don't pay attention. And there are going to be some changes that you've heard of the HUD-1 form. They've changed to 2 different forms. You've heard of the truth of lending laws, right? Good faith estimate, you've heard of those. They've merged those 2 things, and there's going to be a document for the RESPA, which deals with the truth of lending, and there's going to be a HUD-1 document, HUD-1 type document, which will disclose all the fees that are in a transaction. You already know we have those now. But what's happening now is that how many times have you had a transaction where the lender at the last minute changed something because whatever? They change the loan documents.
Especially search.
That happens all the time. So anytime there's a purchase transaction, 1 to 4 unit, this is going to kick in. So let's say, for example, the lender says, okay, my APR, my annual percentage rate changed slightly because the yield spread changed. Or maybe the lender says, I'm going to credit the buyer back $2,000 to close this escrow. Haven't you had lenders that do that for you?
Right.
Yes.
Well, guess what? What's going to happen is that's going to kick in a 3-day right of rescission. Now, you know what rescission means, right? They cancel, right?
Yeah.
So a 3-day right of rescission. So anytime there's a change in any financial document, that kicks in a new 3-day right of rescission, which means that escrow may not close, won't be able to close. May not close during that period of time. You got to wait, just like you do for a refinance loan, right? There's a right of rescission with the buyer and borrower can choose to change or say, I don't want to buy it anymore, I don't want to get it anymore. Pay attention, kids. This is a big deal. Yeah. I know. So I want you to be aware this is a big deal. How many of you had a transaction where the buyer and the seller have been a little bit contentious and the seller feels that, the buyer's already moved all the contingencies, and so the buyer got to close, right? Because their deposit at risk. All of a sudden, you go through an inspection, and the buyer just, does a walkthrough, and they determine, oh, this place is not in the condition that it was in. We have a water shortage, right? Maybe the seller stopped watering the yard. Now all of a sudden the yard's all brown, and when they bought the house, it was all plush green. And all of a sudden the buyer's saying, "Wait a minute here, you know what? I'm not going to close escrow until you do this." And the seller may say, "Well, you know what? I can't make this grass green overnight. Why not give you a credit for $500?" Guess what? That's going to trigger that right of rescission. So all these last minute negotiating tools that we've used and we've become very comfortable using.
Not that they do it under the table.
Well, if they do it under the table, I don't want to know about it. Just keep it under there, okay?
Even if the broker gives the credit.
Even if the broker gives the credit. How many times have you paid for the home warranty policy?
Yes.
Just to satisfy a buyer or a seller? We've done it. I've done it. I've done it. You've done it, right? Right? This is going to trigger this 3-day extension of your transaction. So I just want you guys to be aware it's going to be in effect August 1. Now the realtors, we had about 20,000 realtors in Washington, D.C. last week. We met with every member of Congress, and this is not a legislative issue. This is a regulatory issue. So legislation cannot change this. The legislation is already in place. It's called Dodd-Frank, right? This is regulatory. Now they're implementing the details of Dodd-Frank, and this is one of the details, is giving full disclosure to a consumer, right? And so what I'm saying to you is that you need to start planning ahead. I can imagine a time when a seller has made an arrangement to have their mover come in and pick all the things up, move them out because they're moving across town or cross country or whatever, or moving to storage, whatever they're moving. And all of a sudden you got another 3-day right of rescission. You can't get movers out overnight. If you have that mover, maybe the seller was going to get their proceeds from the escrow closing to pay that mover. Are you getting some of the complications that are going to arise?
It can complicate.
It can be very complicated. So you have to think ahead. It's possible that you may have delays. So you need to think about it in advance, okay? Your closing may not occur when you want it to close. So here are some of the things that agents should consider. Delays in processing the loan. Be prepared to negotiate for an extension. Don't wait to the last minute, because then you have the pressure of your commission. When you wait till the last minute, consumers start looking at who can they make pay. Oh, that mover is going to cost me, $3,000. Okay, Mel, why don't you pay that $3,000? Mel, why don't you pay part of that $3,000? That's what's going to start happening. Prepare to negotiate for an extension. Be cautious about making any last minute changes. So think ahead, guys. If you see a problem, be proactive. Get ahead of it. Don't wait till the last minute and then try to work it out, because it may not be worked out so easily. Can you imagine a buyer having a threat over a seller's head saying, you know what, I got my 3-day right. I may not even want to close escrow at all. The seller's like really desperate. The seller's going to be looking at us, mad at us. Even though it's not our problem, we didn't create the problem. They're going to look at us as like, you need to figure this out, Mel. right? So what I'm telling you is that be ahead of the game. Make sure the broker box on the last page of the agreement is fully completed. These are some of the things you guys need to do. Yes, Mark?
No, this, if I'm interpreting this correctly, it almost creates an environment where the buyer has an unlimited contingency.
It can be seen that, it can appear to be that way.
So I want to make sure, Chris, so if, let's say we're, 5 days before the close of escrow, all contingencies have been removed, buyer for one reason or another decides, don't want to go forward, wants out, and the agent says, I'm gonna pay for your home warranty. And it triggers a 3-day right of rescission. Can they, I mean, you know what I mean?
Right.
So their agent can do things to trigger a new 3-day right of rescission.
Right, but I still think the buyer will have legal liabilities for not performing. That doesn't absolve the buyer from specific performance in order for them to close the transaction. They still have a duty to close, but it's going to create a lot of stuff, a lot of side negotiation that may go on. Did you get your question answered?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm already seeking how to circumvent the problem
Okay.
from being more of a problem than it is. Suggesting to all sellers that you have an option to rent back the property after the close.
Okay.
For up to
That
2 weeks.
affects it
For up
for
to
3
2 weeks.
days?
No, the idea here is that your sellers automatically have this rent back in their contract, so they don't have to set up their movers until they're closed. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a creative way to get, that's a creative way. Well, I don't think so. If they are not changing anything on the financial side of what we used to call the HUD one, right? So you might want to look at, well, okay, maybe we did do a rent back.
Yeah.
Maybe we ought to
I'm saying
anticipate.
just from the get-go, from
Right.
the start, seller has the option to rent back the property for up to 2 weeks after the close of escrow at the buyer's PITI. Seller to let buyer know 1 week prior to the close of escrow, or 2 weeks prior to the close of escrow.
But
In
that
other
should,
words, the idea being is that by 2 weeks before, you know you got your eggs in the basket, everything's pre-negotiated.
already in
But
the
if you
house.
come up with one of these little changes
Yeah.
that causes this 3-day
Recession.
period to go into effect, you can have up to 4 of them for 2 weeks and still be able to get closed and moved because you allowed this extra
The way
time.
we should, see it is that now that we know that we have that 3 days, we should, let the buyer and the seller know what's going on. So if anything comes in, then we just, negotiate it or whatever, but I don't know.
One of the
It depends on,
One of the things I always share with every seller and every buyer regarding the closing date of escrow, don't count on it. If just one other little thing comes up, or the lender says, oh, I need one more document, it's gonna delay the close 3 days minimum. Just one request for one little thing automatically delays you 3 days, because then you gotta go ask for it, you gotta get it signed, then you gotta get it back. That's 3 days. So, the idea here is it's not just this thing that causes us 3 days, anything that's a change in your last name could cause you these.
Well, anything that's
So-
financial, anything that goes on that
Not
HUD
just
loan.
even anything, all of a sudden a new disclosure, a door fell off the hinges when they tried to close it the other day, they gotta tell. And that creates another situation where you got a period or a potential for a delay. I'm just saying, besides the financial aspect of this,
Right.
anything else can also have that possibility of.
They
creating
can, but
these
what
delays.
I'm thinking is that the one that has the financial impact on the HUD one is the one that the law is going to be backing up
Mhm.
the consumer.
Yeah.
Right. It's going to back the consumer
Oh,
up. So we have to anticipate what could happen, and what provisions can we put in as we negotiate. And it could be negotiated early on instead of at the end. I think you're much better off negotiating it at the beginning and saying, in case this happens, we're prepared to rent back for this number of days, or we're prepared to do this or do that. I think we need to start thinking it. I don't have all the answers. These are going to take minds that are much better than mine. It could be a collaboration of all of us thinking, how can we figure out how we can anticipate how to keep our transactions on track, right?
And during the 3 days of the session, if the buyer refuses to buy, the seller has a right to forfeit the deposit.
Well, those are all legal questions, and that's a law question. I would say that seller would want to try to exercise their right to get the deposit, but now how are you going to make the buyer do it? Unless you have some pre-arranged agreement between buyer and seller that if this happens, the buyer does this, the seller is automatically instructed the escrow provider to release their deposit to the buyer. But if you don't have that already in writing, then the escrow company is going to say, well, I can't do anything. The buyer told me this. The seller says something different. We're at an impasse. Escrow is not going to do anything unless all the parties agree, right? So some of these things may have to be thought ahead, maybe an amendment or addendum put into your transaction, just being proactive. I don't know all the solutions yet. All I'm saying is that just be aware of it, and over time we'll figure it out because we always do. But the first few months of this is going to be tough. What the realtors asked the members of Congress to do was to write letters to this federal agency and ask them to give us a cooling off period, to give us at least until the end of December 2015 to try to figure it out. And effective January 2016, that it would actually be enforced. The laws the regulations are already there. It's going to be active on the 1st of August this year, right? It's going to be active as of that date. But what we're saying is to relax the enforcement period, right? To waive the enforcement period until next year. We don't think this is going to work, even though you got 20,000 realtors asking all the members of Congress to do it. But it's ultimately up to the regulators to listen to the members of Congress or not, because it's a separate branch. They can't make them do anything, right? Okay. Here's what our website looks like, and I'm excited with a lot of there's still some bugs to be ironed out, but you'll notice here there's 3 photos that kind of rotate across the front, and we don't have your featured property anymore. We do have some things about you as a team, and some of your photos are here as a team. Some of your photos are not there. Some of your bios are there. Some of your bios are not. Some of you have already given me everything I need, and our web designer just hasn't been able to upload it properly yet. So these are some of the folks. What we have here is your name, your license number, the language that you speak. In this case, Martin DeViti speaks English and Arabic, the country of origin. Okay, and then whatever your bio is, whatever it is you want to share with them. Okay, and so when consumers. Sometimes you may go to a new client or prospect, and they don't know you from Adam. And they want to know, well, who are you? I got a business card. That doesn't mean anything. So then you say, go to my website. Go to the company website. You can check me out. I am real. I'm authentic. This is a real company. Oh, I never heard of you guys. Go take a look at the website. You'll find it there. Okay? So that's what we have here. There's, see that?
Is that your work?
All right, so some of them are not up in the way we should be. Oh, look who that is. He's got his bio up there. Look at that, Rodney. All right, so some of the folks are there, and I think it's going to really set us apart from a lot of other companies, right? So just you'll see some of it is there. All right. All right, so that's that. Let me go back. Some of the other tools, I believe we have a tool. Where is a career? Let's see.
It's bottom row, second one.
This one here. Thank you. Thank you. And on the career, what we have is for those who are interested in getting in real estate, those who are brand new in the business, and those who are experienced, we're going to have something that we offer all of them. And this is, give me a little minute to open up. It's called joinmelwilson.com. All right. Jasmine is very instrumental in helping us with this. Under that, we have why real estate. And so we have, you go to this tab here. And there's some, I'm not sure why the screen is
Couple
not
of
giving me the
control
full screen.
minuses will get us back down there.
It could be the cord. What did you say, William?
Control my message. That's Keith's trick that he taught me.
Oh, wow. Look at
There you go.
There you are. Thank you.
Well, it's, Mr. Tan taught me
See,
that.
that's called sharing. We share. So if you want to know why real estate, so maybe they want to be in commercial, maybe they want to be in residential, and we'll tell them, come to our company. We do both. Why Mel Wilson, and then we'll have something here, a little bit about Mel. And Jazz Marie is all these things that I've been involved in. For example, Cal State Northridge Business School. She made these an active link. So if they want to click, Cal State Northridge Business School, bam, it goes there, right? So it's pretty cool. The fire commission that I served on, let's see, it's in here somewhere.
Are you still on the board for the Northridge Chamber of Commerce?
I am. Yeah, I'm on the board.
I just noticed that this morning.
You did, okay. So, it will bring you to the web link for the fire department, LA City, Metro Board, all the other things that I've been involved with over the years. So let me go back, if I can, to some of the testimonials.
I just don't know how to make it to all those meetings.
Oh, I just have long days, my friend. Jasmine, where's the one that has the agent testimonials, do you recall?
The
That was
videos?
on the
Yes.
homepage.
It's on the homepage.
On the homepage altogether, or the homepage
The
for this?
homepage had the link to the testimonials.
If you scroll down on this side.
There we go. All right, so this is a testimonial from one of our sales associates. So let's see, I don't know if you can hear it. Let's see, where is it? Can't hear it, I'm sorry, I don't have the speaker on. So, you can't hear it. But it's live, I mean, it's not live, but it's a video, and that's what James is saying about us. We also have one with Greg, and then we have a still picture with Virgil saying something about why he's here. Okay, so we're still interested in all you guys. If you want to share with us your video, and I think we did a video of you recently, Anna. Right? Okay, let me go back. All right, so I'm overstepped my time. I apologize for going over. We're 10 minutes past the time. You still have the powerful tool of searching for properties here. Under resources, there's some awesome things that you can get under resources. You can get, Marcus calculator, boundaries. I tell you guys, school boundaries is really powerful tool. A lot of folks want to know what schools do my kids go to if I buy this house. And so you can click this boundaries or school rating, and you put in the address for the property, and it will tell you what schools your kids go to. So it's really powerful too, and it also give you the API rating for the schools. We have some testimonials, and we're looking for more. So if you guys have client testimonials, let us know. We'd be happy to post them on there. Different clients. And what we want to do is have a review so people will be able to go online. You'll see here, let's see here. We have email capability. We have Facebook. If you click Facebook, you should be able to go to our company Facebook. We have YouTube. All these meetings, we try to YouTube them. They'll be available there. Is this Yelp?
Yeah.
Yelp. So for people who want to rate us on Yelp, they can do that. On Facebook, they want to be able to go to our company Facebook. We're going to have a blog. I got some really powerful tools for the blogs as well. So this is our company Facebook site. So there's a lot of good stuff on this website. Okay, it's a work in process. We're not complete with where it's at yet, but we're on our way. We also send out Twitter feeds. We send out tweets. So there's a lot of good stuff happening. Okay. Any questions or comments? All right. All right. Well, we're on our way. Well, thank you guys all. I will make sure that there's some Q&As for this new RESPA regulation. We'll have it posted on the back end of our website so that you can go online and get that. There's some webinars that are online that we're going to link to the website too, so you can go online and take a look at that and get yourself refreshed before it becomes an issue with your client and your transactions and the agent on the other side. So these are some of the tools that we're offering. We believe that it's going to help us become more successful. It's going to make your transactions smoother. And we think it's a great recruitment tool for us having agents. What's that? What did you call it, Mark?
Unique selling proposition.
Unique selling propositions. Why should they come work with us? Okay. All right, guys. Thanks so much. I appreciate all your comments, and I look forward to more of them. Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you again.
Because, I had a listing last week, so that is loaded by Freddie, or I have to load it?
No, you don't have to load. I think it's already been loaded.
It's loaded
That's
for,
what I was told.
yeah, because when I tried to load it, it's always gives my